What's up, fight fans? Greetings from the Wrestleverse. It's your host, Billy, here, and it's time to take it to the ring. All right, fight fans. So, on this episode of Wrestlecap, we're going to be reviewing AEW Rampage. And guys, this was a good episode for sure. And in case you're wondering, Lexi, my co-host, who we normally review AEW together, she's on vacation, much and well-deserved vacation. So she'll be back on Monday. But let's get right into this review, guys. So the night starts off in true AEW fashion, almost a main event, first match of the night. But this is a three-way TNT championship match. So we have Andre El Idolo and Darby Allin with Sammy Guevara. And this match is really good, man. All three of these guys are fantastic. Going into it, like Sammy and Darby are kind of teaming up and working together to really try to work Andrade. And, this worked really well for the first bit of the match until Darby almost pinned Andrade. And as soon as he sets this in, here comes Sammy. He breaks it up and they kind of stare down. He's like, nah. I'm winning this one, man. You're not taking it that quick. So, and, I like watching Sammy and Darby. They work really well together. They're very fast and they're a couple tough guys and they're very young. So they can really kind of do a lot more, I guess, to sacrifice their body. They can get away with a lot more. And it's a lot of fun to watch them. But then, holy cow, probably one of the coolest moves I've seen in a while. So Sammy is setting up a superplex to Darby Allin. And then Andrade, he comes in out of nowhere, picks up both of them, walks them out of the corner. Now, keep in mind, you can see there in the picture, Darby is still in that superplex position. And both of them just get slammed down by Andrade. Just a huge show of strength from this man. And the crowd just goes nuts, chanting, this is awesome. And let me tell you guys, it was awesome. It was a very creative move and cool to watch. So now, of course, during the break, you guys really got to pay attention. I've mentioned this before. So make sure you guys watch during the break. That picture-in-picture is important. Andrade is just whooping up on Sammy and Darby. He's just manhandling them. He takes off his belt and just starts whooping them around the ring. He is just an animal. It was crazy. Both of them had big welts, just from the belt all the way across their back. And I had a little bit of a flashback from when I was a kid and mouthing off. But Andrade, he definitely has the size advantage and the strength advantage in this match. And he was just not holding back. You really saw it. The guy is just an animal. But after laying both of them out, Andrade hits this huge moonsault off the top post. I mean, he gets massive air. And again, this is a big guy doing this. So Darby and Sammy, they see it coming. They kind of roll out of the way. So he sticks the landing, lands right on his feet, and goes right into a standing moonsault press and just lays out Darby. It was fantastic. Again, just seeing a guy that big move like that and have moves and the ability to do that, just so impressive. He definitely got a couple more points in my book after watching him last night. But it pretty much took Sammy and Darby teaming up just to slow down Andrade because he was really getting the momentum going and they were having a hard time. So, Darby, he took off his belt at one point. He saw Andrade going for another moonsault, pulled him down. You can see it there in the picture. He racks himself on the turnbuckle and Darby pulls his belt off and he starts whipping him with the belt. And his has those little studs on it. So I'm sure it hurt a lot more than Andrade's leather belt. But right when this is happening, Sammy comes from outside of the ring. He sets up on the top post and he leaps. Darby sees this. He kind of ducks out of the way and he leaps all the way, going coast to coast and just hits Andrade, who's hanging upside down. You can see it there in the picture. It just nails him right in the chest with this big drop kick. And it was just so impressive. And there in this match, throughout the entire match, we saw a lot of near falls. There are a lot of covers from everybody, but they just keep breaking it up. Hey, Joseph, what's going on, man? Good morning. Yeah, I agree. This is one of the better opening rampages in a while. This I mean, like I said, that's what AEW does, man. They started off fantastic, getting right into it. Keith, good morning, Keith. Rampage and Dynamite, great professional wrestling. Yeah, especially considering it's only 3 years old. I mean, Tony Khan's done an amazing job. I'm so impressed, and they just have a stacked roster and just keep us entertained, man. And like I was just saying, I love the fact that AEW starts the night off with just a banger. It's almost every episode starts with the main event, and they just never let us down. Hey, good morning, man. From Louisiana. How's the weather over there? It's going to be about 80 over here in Florida. It's going to be nice. So we'll get right into it. Right after this, Andrade, he got locked up by Sammy, and he just like from a deadlift position pulls him up, turns him around, and hits this great driver. Excalibur told us what the move was called. I couldn't catch it, and I certainly couldn't pronounce it correctly, but it was fantastic. It was so impressive. And he slammed Sammy down. That guy hit the mat really hard. I felt for him. But Sammy, he bounces right back, picks up Andrade and hits him with a backbreaker and shows him and say, hey, I'm not just a kid. And then Darby, he follows up. He gets up on the top post, and you can see it there. He turns back at Andrade, gives him the double bird, and hits him with the coffin drop and nails it. So Darby gets the cover, but then here comes Sammy, man. He jumps out from outside of the ring, nails Darby with a big senton, breaks up the cover, and then he jumps in, gets the 3 count. And so Sammy wins this. He got it. And after the match, kind of Sammy, he goes up to Darby. He's like, hey, no hard feelings. Tries to give him a handshake. And it's like, hey, we're still buddies. We got to win. It's about winning, right? These are the belts. So as soon as he does this, Darby just rolls out. He gives him his back and walks off. And it was kind of sad. I called Joseph. I called Sammy winning. Well, it was probably the best title defense so far. I got to agree. And what was interesting with this one, of course, it was a 3-way match. So you didn't necessarily have to pin the champion. You just had to pin somebody. So Darby, he has a lot of potential. And it was great to see this. And it was kind of sad to see him really not show that sportsmanship. It's like you knew what this match was. And hey, he's the champion. Those are his belts. He's going to take it. So the whole time he was walking off, kind of saying, it's like, Darby, come on, man. Yeah, I love AEW too. It's one of my favorite programs. It's just nonstop wrestling, and I love it. They never let us down. Great stuff. So we go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we get to see PAC, Penta, and the Dark Priest center ring, and just looking as ominous as can be. And I love that Penta's kind of going back into this dark form again, and they're calling out the House of Black. And the Dark Priest has some words, and he kind of lets them know it's like, hey, we're here, we're gonna take you down. He says, we may be down a Lucha Bro, but there's still 3 of us, and we're gonna see you Sunday at Revolution. So then, of course, the ring goes black, and the House of Black just shows up in the middle of in the ring, and they kind of face off. And it's like, all right, that's pretty impressive. You're stepping up for your team like that, talking to the priest, the Dark Priest. And he elaborates. He's like, no. See, we're taught you guys have a monster. We have a monster of our own. And guess who shows up? It's Eric Redbeard. And this guy is a monster. He just comes stomping down the ramp, every bit of 6'8", and he's teaming up with PAC again. So he's calling in some favors. He gets into the ring, and it's just chaos. Yeah. House of Black are scarier than Wyatt family. So yeah, I agree. They are pretty dark, but this is a great matchup, man. It's like, who's the darkest in AEW? And I mean, there's just a ton of this. So security gets into the ring, chaos breaks out. And this guy, Redbeard, just starts beating the hell out of everybody, sends House of Black running. They're in the audience trying to get away. And this guy's just throwing security guards around, throwing them all over the place. It was kind of funny. You heard, I'm pretty sure it was Jericho. He's like, you hear him say, he's like, dude, just get out of there, man. It's not worth the $50. And this guy just picks him up and slams him. It was crazy. So once they send House of Black running, they clear out the ring. You see Penta, you see that like this old form. He has this poor guy, and he just rears back and yokes this arm back. And I don't know, I think he kind of broke it or pulled it out. You heard a pop. It was definitely serious. It was, we got a comment here. Redbeard was a good surprise. Yeah, I agree, man. That's, you know, it was a ton of fun. And I love that they're bringing in not just big guys, but big guys that know how to wrestle, not just big to be big like Omos, these guys can fight. He was throwing security guards around like rag dolls, man. It was insane. But yeah, right here in this picture, you see Penta, he just rears back, and I think he broke this poor guy's arm. And, House of Black, they cut to them in the audience, and they look pretty concerned. They're a little shook. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. That's going to be a killer match. That's going to be great. So we'll get into the next fight card of the night. We got to see Keith Lee versus JD Drake. And these are two big guys. And I'm sure Drake's used to kind of being the biggest guy in the ring. And that was not the case. And with Lee, he was definitely the crowd favorite. Everybody's just singing his song, and he's, kind of singing along and, being the conductor, just enjoying himself. Taz had some S to talk, but I don't care. I like Keith Lee. So Drake starts it off, and he just starts sending chops to Keith Lee, and he just kind of smiles at him and doesn't even budge, and then just lays him out with one shoulder tackle, gives him one chop, and just lays Drake out like he's nothing. And then, so Lee can move, for a big guy. He's all over the ring, and it was really impressive to kind of see that from him. And Drake has some moves, but Keith was just too strong for him. He was way stronger. And this whole match, throughout the entire match, there were some mean chops, man. My kind of hoss fight, yeah, for sure. And I agree, Drake did fantastic in this. I've seen him a couple times in Dark. The other night we were there at that showing, and he wrestled, and he did pretty good with the rest of his team. I think he did really well against Keith, especially with how much bigger Keith is. The guy is just a massive guy, and they were trading chops back and forth. So he gets Drake works in a couple good moves. He gets Keith down into the corner, and then runs in with this big cannonball and just nails him. I mean, look at that. He just smooshed Keith's face with this cannonball, and it was really smooth. It kind of had shades of Kevin Owens, and he's bigger than Kevin Owens. This was great. And then right after this, he pulls him out of the corner, gets on the top post for a moonsault, and just flattens out Keith Lee. I mean, it was so impressive. I was really like, I think it was Keith or Joseph, you said it. This was an impressive display from Drake, and I have to fully agree. So Drake's keeping the momentum. He starts to get going, and he goes flying out, but just gets caught by Lee. He catches him, and he picks him up into this fireman carry. And he was kind of, he's a big boy. He had to deadlift, get him up there, and just slammed him down, man. Spun him, put him right into the mat. Drived him into that mat. The whole ring was kind of shaking. That's a lot of weight. It's probably every bit of 500 pounds that came down. So he gets the win after this. Like, he pins him. Drake's done. Wins completely knocked out of his chest. He can barely breathe. And then right after this, the rest of Drake's team, they come out and they try to jump Lee. And this does not work out very well for them. He just kind of cleans house and makes light work of all of them. Throws, I think it was Benani, out of the ring into the rest of them. It was great. It was some cool stuff. They all just got completely destroyed. It took Orange Cassidy to come out and kind of keep things calm. because you saw Hobbs trying to make his way out to the ring to get in and all this and kind of jump Keith Lee before their match on Sunday. So Orange Cassidy comes out and everything mellows out a little bit and everybody calms down. You hear Taz just like, "Oh, I hate this guy. I hate this guy. I hate everything about him." I'm a big Orange Cassidy fan. I like Orange Cassidy. But right after this, backstage, we see a clip from last week, the big MJF kind of showdown. And this is him backstage kind of getting cleaned up. And he goes right to the camera and he is pissed. He says he's going to beat MJF so bad that his own mother won't even recognize him. And he's just absolutely livid, man. He's ready to destroy MJF, and you see it in this scene. There's a lot of hate, and he's like, I'm not afraid to be the bad guy to beat a bad guy. And right before he walks off, he says, "I'm CM Punk, and I'm better than you," and walks off. And I loved it. It gave me goosebumps. I was like, it was such a great promo. And I just love what they're doing. This is going to be an insane match. This is classic Punk. Yeah, see, he's bringing back that dark side from when he was younger, man. And I love it. This is going to be an absolutely amazing match. I'm so excited. So me and Lexi were kind of talking on Wednesday. I was like, guys, don't let Punk's kind of police, AEW police daddy thing fool you. I mean, this guy's got a lot of hate and he can get dark if he needs to. Right after this, there's a real quick little promo. You see Cargill. She's talking about her match against Ty Conte that's going to be coming up. They're going to be going for the belt. So Ty Conte, she shows up and just kicks the shit out of Cargill, like right in the face, lays her out. And Cargill's on the ground, kind of looks up and says, "Fuck that bitch." Like, she has so much attitude and she is such a badass. I love it. And this is going to be another banger. This is going to be a good one too, because Ty Conte is not to be taken lightly. She's bad as well. But Cargill, she's that bitch, right? So she's gonna tear it up. I'm ready for it. That's gonna be a good one too. I just love her attitude. It's fantastic. It made me laugh. So right after this, they get right into the Deeb match. And these 5-minute matches, I'm not a huge fan of. She's going up against Layla Gray, and I think I've seen her once before. She's not a real big name. She kind of tries to play this cat and mouse game, trying to run away from Deeb, and this does nothing but piss her off. She's trying to run away for the full 5 minutes. And if you don't know what this is, Deeb shows up and challenges pretty much a no-name and see if they can last for 5 minutes. And she submits him in about a minute or two. So she finally gets Layla. She gets her in the ring. She locks her up. She gets the guillotine, chokes her out. Now, that's not enough. Right after this, she sets in the Serenity Lock just to put even more of a hurting on and I guess show how tough she is, right? And it's pretty great because Sheeta shows up out of nowhere. She's running down the ramp with the Kato stick and just starts putting the whooping on Deeb and sends her running into the audience. It was fantastic. She's running around the outside of the ring talking to the fans and she's just pissed. She still has a stick. So let's see if this sets up for a real match, not a smash match. I think she'll do great. The Deep bit was good, but the aftermath was even better. Yeah, I'm kind of done with the smash matches, especially the quick submissions. So this one with Sheeta is going to be a good one. So I'm excited for that one. Kaitante is Ronda Rousey of AEW. That's a great comparison, Keith. I don't think I could agree more. She's a legit fighter. She's a black belt, I believe, and she's a badass. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure she's competed on the professional level and won belts. I'll have to look it up. I don't know offhand what her accolades are, but she's impressive. She has a lot of skill. But yeah, guys, let's get right into it. Sheeta rocked that suit. Yeah, right. I saw that too. I was like, she's coming out in a pantsuit, whooping ass. She's like wrestling professional badass. Like, it was pretty cool. But we have the main event. So we have Christian Cage versus All Ego Ethan Page. Cage versus Page. So this looks great. I mean, Cage looks fantastic. I mean, this guy's in great shape and he's been wrestling for years. And it's been a long time since I've seen him in a match, like one-on-one with somebody. So it was awesome kind of see this. And Page wastes no time. He comes in hot, getting Cage in the corner with some mean strikes. I mean, just rocking him back and forth, not wasting any time at all. And then Cage comes back with like this great lariat baseball drop kick outside of the ring and just nails Page right in the face, man. And it was great. It was so fast I could barely get a shot of it, but it was great. Look at that, right on the chin, man, right on the kisser. So Page, he definitely has the size advantage in this match. He's a little bit wider. He's just as tall, but he's kind of working Cage for the first bit of this match. I mean, he's really kind of beating him down. But Cage is no slouch. Let's be honest. He's been around the block. He knows what to do. Um, During the match, he gets knocked out of the ring. Cage gets thrown out. So Page is center ring. He's waiting for the count out. Ref gets up to, I think, like a 6. And this is pretty great. Cage got underneath the ring, climbed or underneath the ring, came up from behind him and rolled up Page and almost got a 3 count, but he was able to kick out. It was pretty cool. It was good stuff. So, Page was still fresh and he was able to kick out, but it was still a lot of fun to watch. Then we see right after this, there's just we come back from the break. That was all going on. That was picture in picture. We come back from the break. Page starts to get his second wind. He's coming back and he's been kind of taking a butt whooping for most of this match, but he comes back and Cage reverses the suplex. He almost gets set up off the stairs for a suplex and then lands a DDT outside of the ring onto the floor, pardon me, and just nails him. I mean, it was great. It was a hard hit. So Cage, he's back inside and he gets this nice reverse DDT, laying Page down, man. It was a hard hit, but Cage is able to kick out pretty quick. So this is some great back and forth. Page comes up, he's outside of the ring. He jumps off the second rope and then nails this great flying cutter and lays out Page, man. Cage, I mean. And there's a shot of it. It was just beautiful. It was so fast. It was awesome. Yeah. Cage versus Page. The battle of the ages. Christian has been near perfect in AEW and hasn't lost his feel. Yeah, Joseph, I agree, man. He looked fantastic out there. So yeah, see, Joseph. Yeah, this is probably one of the best matches I've seen Ethan in. I would have to definitely agree. But let's be honest, we don't get to see Ethan Page compete very often. So it was nice to see him get out there and really show us what he's got. And like I said, I mean, for the most part, he was really putting a butt whooping on Cage. So at one point, Page countered Cage, threw him into the post. I mean, like chucked him. He grabbed him right by the panties and just threw him into it. And he's laying down onto the turnbuckle. And with AEW, those are not round posts. Those are square posts. And that little corner dug right into his shoulder. And I felt that. I was like, ooh, he hit it like spit came flying out of his mouth. It was pretty bad. But, Cage is not soft. Like I said, he bounces right back, nails the kill switch, and takes the win. And it was beautiful. It's just classic Cage. I loved it. And he tried to hit the kill switch a couple times in the match, but Page, he saw it. He was ready for it. He was no slouch. He was able to reverse or counter, but he finally hit it, and that was it. He got the win, and it was great. Jurassic Express, they come out. You get to see Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. They're giving them some praise, and the crowd just goes nuts. They love Jungle Boy. I love Jungle Boy. So this moment was short-lived, unfortunately. Young Bucks and Red Dragon, they come running out down the stage. They got something to say. Look at O'Reilly just coming down with swagger. They steal the belts from them, right? And and O'Reilly was outside of the ring, kind of dancing to Jungle Boy's music with the belt, almost celebrating like, "Hey, I have the belts." So then Red Dragon and Young Bucks, they kind of square off like, "Hey, wait, you have my belt. No, you have my belt." And they start arguing. And Luchasaurus comes out of nowhere, steals them back. And then Jungle Boy just takes them both out outside of the ring. It was good stuff. He lays them all out. And yeah, Joseph, I agree. It was a great main event. It was a ton of fun. And then getting to see Jurassic Express come out and a little cameo from Young Bucks and Red Dragon. It's funny. Uh yeah, I'm so pumped for Revolution. The whole card, yeah, I agree. It is completely stacked. So we're gonna be doing a review on that Monday, WrestleCap. So I'm gonna be watching. If any huge news comes out, we're definitely gonna keep you guys in the loop. We'll jump on and let you know. But yeah, stay tuned. That's gonna be awesome. And then right after this, Fight fans, T-John and I, we're gonna be reviewing the SmackDown episode last night. So that's always a ton of fun. Me and him have a great time kind of predicting and seeing what WWE is going to do for us. But as far as this episode, here at Take It to the Ring, we like to give each fight card a fight card rating. So we have 5 for Fight Forever. Then we have 4, This Is Awesome. 3, You Still Got It. 2 is the what? And then 1, Boring, We're Way Better. And this one, it earned a 3. This was a solid 3. Great matches all the way through. It was a ton of fun. Nothing really stuck out to me to where it would earn that extra little 4. But it was a great episode. It was awesome. Like I said, I love that AEW starts off with the main event and ends with the main event. And it was awesome seeing All Ego come out and really show that at least he can back up some of that ego. He has a lot of talent, and it was awesome seeing Cage too. I love watching him wrestle. It was a ton of fun. Oh yeah, guys, yeah. Let me know what you think too. Send in the ratings. So we got a 4 here. Joseph, yeah, it was a 3. I agree, man. It was a great episode. They definitely did not let me down. Check it out. It was a ton of fun to watch, and it's really just kind of leading up to Revolution. And a couple quick promos. You got to hear from Eddie Kingston. He's such a clown. His whole New York tough guy thing it cracks me up. It's great. Him and Jericho are going to be facing off. That's some beef that's been building. Turbo Moose. Oh, let me guess. Is that a Volvo? I'm a Volvo man too. Now 5. Wow, that's strong. I don't hand out 5s like that, guys. That's it was a great episode. Don't get me wrong. It did not let me down. And if you thought it was a 5, that's great. Good for you. The promo with CM Punk was great too, man. I can't wait to see him and MJF both go at it, because MJF's no slouch. Let's be honest. He's got talent. So let's see what they can bring to us. Yeah, but that's it for this episode. So if you like what you see here, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And until next time, we got another comment here from Turbo Moose. Yeah, I feel like Jurassic Express has defended these titles enough, but definitely rooting for Red Dragon. I love the Red Dragon tag team, but I like Jurassic Express and Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. I'm a big fan. The two of them have a great tag team dynamic. You have just the brute strength with the high flyer, and Jungle Boy's tough. He's no slouch. And I still think they're going to take this one. Young Bucks are great though, man. Don't get me wrong. They are so versatile. They're another one of my favorites. FTR is probably my favorite tag team right now. But I'm still a huge fan of Jurassic Express, and Red Dragon's a great team up too. Seeing Kyle O'Reilly really show off more of that fighting kind of background and skill is great. Van Vet is returning this weekend. We'll see. I think AEW always has some great surprises for us. Tony Khan's, he loves that. He does a great job just kind of setting stuff up. But guys, yeah, make sure if you like what you see here, click those WrestleCaps or click the link below. We have plenty of WrestleCaps. We touch base on everything: MMA, AEW, WWE, and then check out the Fight Kitties. they'll keep you updated on the day-to-day news, and Lady J will keep you updated on the New Japan stuff and AAA. We get it all here. So until next time, it's Billy here, and don't stop believing.